Alright, welcome back to Menu Heroes Digest. Today we'll be talking about AI, Mortal Kombat, and a bunch of trailers.
Yes, but one trailer
We'll watch part of.
cannot...
We can watch part of it.
Okay.
I watched through it and I know the cutoff point before it gets too
Good.
much for YouTube.
Good.
It's not too much for YouTube because the video's on YouTube, but it's a bit too gory for this channel.
Yes. And even channels that do discuss Mortal Kombat, lore and things.
Censor.
Are they censor or they cut right? They just show just the reactions of the YouTuber and just they don't show the real gory stuff. So yeah, we are most certainly certainly gonna be very respectable.
All right, so let's go ahead and get on with David Jaffe's AI Gaffe.
Yeah. So
Oh god.
Yeah.
Really, David?
Should I say fall from grace? Because this guy is creator. Is he co-creator or the creator of God of War?
So he was creator and developer of the first God of War, main developer.
Yeah.
And he was involved in a total of 2 games in the whole series, the first and second game.
Mm-hmm.
And he used AI to make a screenshot from Tears of the Kingdom look better. And
By better, it's generic.
yeah, it's not the style of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
So on the screen is a quote from him on Twitter. He said he's been trumpeting gameplay over visuals in games as an art form since I started making games professionally 20 years ago. Fact is, though, there are distractingly ugly parts of this game. Deal with it or don't, but it's true. But this AI generated
it's just
image.
It's generic, and again, it's like he's having issues with Tears of the Kingdom's graphics. Where was he with the freaking Pokemon Legends Arceus thing? Like
Scarlet and Violet, you mean?
I also that
Did Arceus have that issue? 'Cause I thought
there
that was
was
a gorgeous game.
Maybe when it was first coming out, there were certainly some visual issues, certainly some areas that had not fully rendered yet. But I'm pretty sure maybe like Game Freak or whoever like patched that up. But yeah, man, like there are certainly far more unpolished, Nintendo Switch games that, could be patched up, but not through AI, okay?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a realistic Zelda art style, and I'm sure we wouldn't be as upset about it if this was just some random fan art and not AI-generated images. But the thing is, AI was supposed to free us up to make art, not make the art for us.
Yes.
And it's complete BS.
Mm-hmm. And you would think a guy who has been in this industry, who has been an artist, a creator, would know that and learn that, but no. And from what I gather, David Jaffe is not really well liked in the industry.
This is the guy who said that Metroid Dread has a room that was badly designed because he got stuck in it. And then the internet dogpiled on him, and they proved that it is objectively a well-designed room within the game.
I bet. I mean, I don't know that. Okay, so the only thing I really knew about David Jaffe, besides him being the creator of God of War, is that he does have his own YouTube channel, and unfortunately, while I was looking at stuff for Last of Us, the series, one of his videos came up, and he said one particular episode almost made him quit the entire show.
Is that the one with the same sex?
Yes, that is the episode where he almost quit the show. So, yeah, you can add homophobia to the list of things that David Jaffe has a problem with, or
another reason he's a problem.
Yes. So,
oh Lord.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I never one of those. I know there's somebody on Twitter who has commented saying this is why you aren't on God of War anymore. I never, it's like, I do always try to give at least some bit of credit. Whenever, a creator, has made something and also they have sent down some things, obviously their actions are not inexcusable. I do at least put aside to where, okay, they did at least give us some good in the world. And David Jaffe, you are responsible for the creation of God of War. However, what you have done after that has not been great.
Bring the volume down just a little.
Sorry, but how it's kind of passionate about it.
Yeah, no, I get you. We just need to bring it down just a couple notches.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, this is good. You can speak up just a little, but
all right. So
yeah,
I'll adjust my volume to the proper at some point. We'll figure it out, folks, as we go along.
Screw it, we'll do it live.
All right, so
this is an official gameplay reveal trailer of Lords of the Fallen.
Yes, and I remember I had made the mistake of thinking this was somehow Lord of the Rings,
connected.
and then I saw the trailer. I was like, "Oh, this is not Lord of the Rings at all. This is something completely different." And live and learn, and because the original Lords of Fallen did come out in 2014, and it definitely. I mean, I don't think it was like a Dark Souls clone, but it was certainly a game that was heavily influenced by Dark Souls, and it's the team behind it, the company behind it really was, clearly had some inspirations. But basically, this one is now coming out 10 years after the original. It is in a way a sequel, but mostly a reboot in a way. So if you're like me and you are just experiencing the Lords of the Fallen, series or franchise, you don't have to worry about nothing being super involved in the story. You can basically get the idea of, some groups of people around the world trying to unveil some grave threat. Okay, well, there's a synopsis right here. It's a dark fantasy world. Your player character embarks on a quest to overthrow the demon god Adir, and basically, this trailer showcase, it's like basically, the idea of the combat, the incredible visuals that, again, I'm about to show you, and actually the story is set 1,000 years after the first game. So yes, it is a sequel, but it's done in a way to where you can easily follow along, and it's not going to be, as convoluted, or you're not being super confused by it. So anyway.
And we've got the trailer here to show you.
Yeah.
Mondstadt has fallen. This great army decimated by the legions of Adir, the demon god. But one light still flickers in the ever-growing gloom. The light of the Dark Crusader.
I said, the visuals alone are incredible, and there are plenty of trailers that do showcase cool visuals, but I think this is up there. This is right up there.
The radiance of Mondstadt with us.
Am I the only thing that I almost thought that was Nazareth? I don't want to assume, but
It is
I have a feeling they modeled the kid after his face. I could be wrong. Completely wrong.
Ascend to Aureus, my child.
Yeah.
As his holy redeemer. In light we walk. In light we walk. Burn their very souls to ash.
But yeah, definitely some bit of Dark Souls,
Flesh
just a smidge of Dark
remains
Souls influence.
sacrificed with the mark of the Dark Crusaders.
I am the man who walks alone, and when I'm walking a dark road, at night or strolling through the dark.
Great potential dwells within you, doubtless, for you to be chosen thusly.
Fear of the dark. Fear of the dark. I have a phobia that someone's always there.
Prove yourself worthy of this gift.
Those wings are
grant me
beautiful.
the strength
They are.
to continue to endure these dark days.
I'll be a good copyright strike for this music. I'm not sure if it's the actual licensed music or not, but it's cool.
It is.
Another unfortunate made a slave to unceasing hunger. I pity you.
Reignite the blessed beacons of Mornstead and thwart Adir's cataclysmic resurrection.
Ooh, new waifu alert.
It
So
looks neat, but
so-
with so many other games I want to play, I just don't know if I'll ever get around to it.
I will say though that unfortunately, you know, again, I'm sure there's some fans of the original Lords of the Fallen, and some of them are probably like getting super excited by it. But yeah, I think the reason why I didn't play the original was because there were already so many elements that were similar to Dark Souls and Bloodborne. That's the one I really played a lot of. So, as I said, I'm again probably is gonna again, by all means. I just say I won't give this thing a try. I mean, it definitely looks amazing, but as I said, if someone could just could come in the comments or like message me about like what what helps make Lords of the Fallen truly its own unique thing, its own unique dark fantasy thing that helps it keep. What would help it keep it from being like other Souls-like games out there? Because that is unfortunate. It's crazy that Demon Souls and Dark Souls, people first look at those games like at oddities. Like, what is this? What kind of game are these? Because people were so used to the Elder Scrolls games, fantasies like that, and here comes Demon Souls and Dark Souls, like literally changing the game in terms of fantasy game combat games. So, but unfortunately, because of how popular those games were, it caused so many developers to make their own versions of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. So
I mean, it got to the point where Souls-like is a genre of video game.
Yeah.
Like Metroidvania.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it makes it difficult when
Jump in.
Or it's difficult, especially when some of them have a very similar feel and look and tone to them. You know, because I think the ones where I think the Souls-like games that truly offer crazy visuals, like that one crab game I saw.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The Crab Souls or something else.
I think it was called Crab Souls.
Yeah, I hope it was, but that's at least visually looks so different, and it feels like it's having more fun with it, being more humorous and silly with the whole concept. Because again, there's variety is important.
Yes.
And by all means, this game could come out and be like, oh my god, this is one of the best Souls-like games of all time, and I hope so. It is. I hope it is. All I gotta say is I'm very sorry I mixed this up with the Lord of the Rings because
you were excited and then you realized, oh wait.
Yeah, I thought like, oh wow, they're doing something really different with Lord of the Rings. With this, I was like, oh wait, no, this cannot be Lord of the Rings. No, oof, that's a big L on my part.
Speaking of a big L, I'm just kidding.
No. So again, we're gonna try and show a little bit of it because. Honestly, first half is pretty peaceful. Yeah. It's very tranquil,
We'll watch the first half, and then I'll skip to the very end.
Yes. So.
It is time. Time to wake up to a new reality.
I think most people have already confirmed that is human Raiden.
Warmth and peace.
In my new
Visually,
era,
it's gorgeous.
choice
Oh,
is
yeah.
yours. Whether to live in quiet serenity.
Not to keep throwing shades of the Mortal Kombat movie a couple years ago, but
They
this,
did
this
the
would look like
movie
this would look like a better.
Yeah, I was thinking when I watched it the
To
first
dwell
time.
in joyous prosperity.
If they did the movies in this style, I probably would watch them.
Or bitter rivalry.
That's my girl. That's a lot of girls' girl.
You can face each other as sworn enemies, or united as brothers.
The Red Ring of Death.
But a storm is brewing, and soon you will discover that even in this new era, one constant remains. There is always something worth fighting for.
Oh yeah.
Oopsie.
Yeah. No, I don't know if we can. Okay. Yeah. Because we're trying to avoid all the fatalities, which there
Right
are a
here.
lot of.
This
Yeah.
was cool. I liked this.
Yeah, and it's pretty much confirming that Liu Kang is the new fire god. And those of you who don't know about the ending of Mortal Kombat 11, it was like, and yeah, obviously Shang Tsung, definitely. Basically, the ending of that is Raiden kind of gave up being a god and transferred his god energy or whatever to Liu Kang. But instead of becoming a thunder god, Liu Kang became a fire god as well. And pretty much, because again, there's all kinds of wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey shenanigans in Mortal Kombat 11. Many people, this pretty much confirms that the ending, the canon ending for MK11 in this game is that Liu Kang resets the timeline and at least from what it looks like, tries to make a peaceful, reality where even characters like longtime rivals like Scorpion and Sub-Zero seemingly on the right side, because their outfits, even though like one's in yellow, one's in blue, they look so matching. And even though that was the case in the original games, they've over the years they've really established the lore and the backstory of Scorpion and Sub-Zero being two very different tribes of warriors. Like Scorpion is Japanese, of the Karai clan, I believe, and Sub-Zero being the Chinese Lin Kuei, which are all about like delving into sorcery and and at one point the leader decides we're going to turn all of our ninjas into robots, which is where the robot ninjas like Smoke and Sector and not Cyborg, but Cyrax, yeah. Cyrax, Sector, and Smoke. Those are the three robot ninjas, and that's a whole Lin Kuei craziness going on. So yeah, as I said, I am not the expert in Mortal Kombat lore and history. That's Kevin Mustard's channel there.
Somebody link them.
PK Mustard and Ketchup, yes.
Link them in the description.
Oh yeah. So that's the channel where you go all your Mortal Kombat lore. But I certainly have dabbled, and by all means, Mortal Kombat is like up there with Street Fighter as the premier, the gold standard of fighting game franchises. And as I said, we couldn't show the very graphic, fatalities and everything. But but again, the whole vibe of the trailer seems to be seemingly like Liu Kang is giving you a chance of like, you can like make these characters who were rivals in many games and have them be allies, or you could interrupt and ruin his peacefulness and start end up just living the combat life, as we see, and it'll make him mad because he really tears it a new one with Shang Tsung in that game, in that ending. Now there's been a lot of new again. Ready to move on to the other news?
I was just setting up. Anyway, you can continue.
Yeah. So, and also there's been plenty of updates and further new information from the creators, from Ed Boon and other Studio games. So I'm gonna try and bring all of them up. But basically, one thing that has some fans concerned is that they're introducing a concept called cameo characters, and while they haven't gone into full detail of that, they have been saying like these are basically going to be assist characters. You know, they're not going to be characters you play as, but like you'll have a character that you do play as, and they will have an assist character. Now, and again, maybe not exactly the same way that Super Smash Ultimate did it, where you got to get a trophy and that'll let you act as an assist character, but something in which it'll at least like your selected character will have an assist character to help you out in certain combos or moves and what have you. Again, I think there are certainly some characters that aren't super beloved that you could get away with that. I'm trying to think, Jax's daughter. Jacqueline Briggs. I mean, there's some people that do like her, but like she hasn't really been as popular as some other characters. So if you had Jax be a playable character and his daughter as an assist character, I think most people would be okay with that. I would have a problem with characters that were here from the very beginning, like say Reptile, the Green Ninja, if you will. And he has certainly been treated the short end of the stick these last decade or so because he's seen as a jobber. You know, he's a reptile monster that your characters fight, and they end up killing him right away in the main story modes. And in the last Mortal Kombat movie, Reptile was the first character that Kano killed, and thusly solidifying or the reason that the group wanted to enlist him into their thing. So, not exactly a fan of that as a Reptile main. And again, it's like his backstory is like he's one of the last of a dying race, or his race, the Subterrans, are on the verge of extinction. And while he has joined allegiance with some of the bad guys like Shao Kahn and others, he does it because they promised him to save his species, to save his race. And I'm hoping with this new peaceful utopia that Fire God Liu Kang's offering, we could see a potential Reptile getting what he wants in terms of the Subterrans getting to live a peaceful life, or at least there's more Subterrans and can live in peace. At least that's a potential timeline, and whatever, and it may end up causing some shenanigans that ends up ruining that. But give my man a Reptile some love is my main thing, okay? Because you had sent a link
showed
to
you
the
a Dubus
Goobus thing. To where, I mean, granted, I feel like Scorpion has been getting a lot of attention, but there are certainly some story moments where they do undercut him and really focus on the different Elder God stuff, and Johnny Cage and his daughter Cassie Cage have been the focus. And I'm a fan of Cassie Cage. I think that is one of the better new characters they've had in the last couple games, but yeah, certainly some characters, even some fan favorite characters, have not been treated well. And my man Reptile is one of those that has not been treated well. So, by all means, some of the things that's been confirmed is that, that Johnny Cage is a confirmed character that just didn't show up in the trailer here, and that there'll be like either a DLC skin or a pre-order skin where he'll resemble, or they'll get him looking like Jean-Claude Van Damme and get the likeness of Jean-Claude Van Damme to have him look like Johnny Cage and everything, because that's who Johnny Cage was based off of. Jean-Claude Van Damme's character in Bloodsport. He's supposed to be that kind of character, but just for whatever reason they couldn't get the likeness, or they couldn't agree to get Jean-Claude Van Damme to agree to be photoed and scanned for the first game and all that stuff. As I said, and there is there's been a couple leaks, some rumors. We're not going to talk about them. I will just say that there will most definitely be guest characters ads there, and one in particular that seems to be popping up everywhere, and I think has a 90% chance of being a just guest character is Homelander from The Boys.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it makes sense because like The Boys is not a Marvel or DC thing, so that's like Dynamite Comics kind of character, or one of the like independent comic companies, and like I'm sure they could have easily like made a simple deal with Warner Brothers to be like, hey, The Boys is pretty popular right now, and certain people, even though we made Homelander to be clearly an evil Superman, there are some people that think he's their spirit animal or something. But it certainly would be a character that would fit very well in the Mortal Kombat universe. Or you can easily have him appear in a portal, and either he's doing some crazy fatalities, or if you hate Homelander, or you can have your character pull some fatalities on him. So again, it makes the most sense. He's not confirmed, but I feel like, best bet is that I would bet $100 that Homelander would be a guest character in this game.
Too spicy. So now we're on to Dead by Daylight. I'll be right back.
Yes.
I gotta get some water.
That's
Will
fine.
you talk to the audience about what Dead by Daylight is?
Oh, of course.
I mentioned it before, but...
Yes. Basically, it is one of the more... Well, I wouldn't say one of the most popular horror games, but definitely like a fun online horror game that has been fully embraced by the horror film community. Basically is like you can either choose to be a survivor, or you can choose to be a killer. And basically, certain modes and maps are changed because of certain situations. And then it is certainly some interesting original killers that the game has created, but ultimately Death by Daylight has grown, or Dead by Daylight. I keep wanting to say Death by Daylight, which, sorry. The name is right there. It's right there. I keep saying Death by Daylight. Anyway, one of the things that has helped make Dead by Daylight super popular is because there's been so many guest characters. There's been Michael Myers. There's been Pyramid Head. There's been a few of the Resident Evil characters. I'm trying to remember all of them, but I'm sure there's... I'm just going to say just generally Resident Evil characters have been guest characters in that. Pinhead and some Xenobites from the Hellraiser franchise, and a bunch others. Because I'm not going to have time to list every... Oh, and Ghostface from the Scream franchise. That's a fun killer to play as. Because again, he's constantly mocking you as he's hunting you down. As does Ghostface do. But as of right now, as you can see clearly on your page, Nicolas Cage, the man, the myth, the legend, the Cage, is going to be one of the guest characters for Death by Daylight. So... roll that beautiful Cage footage.
There's nothing more powerful than imagination. It can shape the fabric of reality, transforming everything you may think you know.
So we will see you guys on July 5th for more
Oh
information.
yes. I'm curious. Like, is it just Nick Cage as a survivor, as one of the quote unquote good guys of the game, or are you gonna be able to play as one of the bad guys he's been in some of the movies, like Face Off?
Or is he just the bad guy?
Yeah, Nicolas Cage as himself, just finally goes all out and goes on a killing spree. You know what? After seeing
Method acting.
Hey, if you've seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where he is playing himself, trying to befriend, he's hired by the CIA as himself as Nicolas Cage to befriend a drug dealer, just so he can get in and have the evidence that this guy is pushing drugs here. Yeah, obviously, but it's a really fun, really crazy movie, and I'm fine with Nicolas Cage just being himself and fully just. Just doing his own thing. He is one of those actors that your parents, your grandparents know who he is, and you love seeing him and stuff. But
lately he's been okay and stuff, but he's not the best actor, to be completely honest.
I think
it really depends on the movie.
Okay, I will give you that. I mean, Face Off, he is one of the greatest movie villains of all time. He is completely hammered it up. But yet, there are certainly movies like The Wicker Man, which is a remake of a classic British, psychological horror film.
Okay.
While he's trying in that movie, he cannot save it. And there's definitely been a few like direct to Netflix movies that he's been in that it feels like he was just he was chatting with a friend or met someone at a bar and he agreed to be in a movie.
Let's be honest, the National Treasure movies are not that good.
I love the first one. I will come to the defense of the first one, okay?
Like, they're fun. The first one's fun to watch, but it's not a masterpiece. It doesn't have to be, though.
Like, it feels like it was Disney trying to get at Indiana Jones before they officially got the rights to Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But I still think it is fun for what it is, and Nicolas Cage and his banter with the other guy that I have time remembering, like, their dynamic is fun, and I think just as a fun little adventure thing involving the Declaration of Independence, I think the first movie's worth checking out. But the catalog of movies with Nicolas Cage is vast, and I am at least excited whenever he's in something. It's a shame the Ghost Rider movies didn't turn out well, because I think he could have been a great Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. He was excited to be it, but those movies just did not work out.
Oopsie.
Yeah. So we'll get on to some... Okay. We'll go with this because the next news is going to make me sad.
Yeah, so this
All right.
Was actually announced past our deadline for submitting stories, but I was excited for it, so...
All right.
We'll just watch the... God darn it.
You want to remind me?
I'm not doing it on purpose.
See, Jordan? One of your favorite games is going to be discontinued. Feels sad. But yeah, I'm definitely on board with this. Definitely. Oh, please, somebody get the actual bands from those, to be.
I love that it seems like they're mixing orchestra and rock.
But there's.
I love it when that's done.
I mean, I almost bought into it. I was getting into it, man.
I wish I could afford to go to it, but it's in London and Los Angeles at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel whenever. When was the last time they did an orchestra of Legend of Zelda?
I don't remember.
It's like that would have been one I would have, if I had the money, I would have gone to, because we did a whole segment last episode of just some of the most beautiful music that gave us chills, got us excited, and all that. Video game music like Legend of Zelda really gets to me, and even though the road with Sonic the Hedgehog has been a bumpy one, for the most part, the music has been the highlights for even lower
non-fans.
Even the lower tier Sonic games had its fair share of good music.
Even non-Sonic fans like Sonic music.
Oh yeah. So
Pac-Man 99 is being discontinued. So August 8th, you'll no longer be able to buy custom themes. September 8th, you can no longer buy the deluxe pack in the mode unlock. And October 8th, it will be discontinued online services, at least for the main game. And you'll be able to... It won't be distributed anymore, so make sure you download it, and you can still play the offline portions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So, You know, there are plenty of video game characters that are very near dear to my heart, and I feel like it helps that with Pac-Man, I have some fond memories of just being at a pizza restaurant, mostly Pizza Hut, but there would be either a Pac-Man or a Mrs. Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man.
I remember when Pizza Hut had arcade machines.
Man, that was some good times. I remember when like movie theaters had like actual arcade cabinets in their theaters, and they had either the first Marvel vs. Capcom or Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And I remember I was more than happy to wait however long for the movie to start or wait in the lobby because I wanted to play that arcade game. And most of the time you would see a Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man arcade cabinet in a pizzeria, and man, it really helped me cement. It's again a very simplistic game, but man, it's still so fun. It's still, I mean, at least for its launch, it definitely got me and a lot of people excited. And I was playing several online matches and doing a fair amount of damage, if I do say so myself. Got within the top 30 plenty of times, so nice. I'm proud of that. I can at least hang up there with at least 31 other good Pac-Manners or Pac-Maniacs.
Pac-Maniacs.
Yeah, but
everything comes to an end.
Yeah, and as I said, it was Pac-Man 99 was a game I was playing even while I was also playing. I was trying to catch up with a bunch of other different games. There was a lot of times where I wanted to just chill out and vibe and just relax there. And my first thought was Pac-Man 99 because of its simplicity, but also there was the battle royale aspect of it. And I was hoping that this could carry on like Tetris 99, but as we're seeing right now, I guess Bandai Namco, they don't feel like this is as successful as they were hoping for it, or didn't meet their expectations, so they're gonna slowly discontinue it.
Tetris 99, I like to play the single player mode on that.
Yeah. Again, I'll do either one for Pac-Man 99, but it was like in a way I kind of preferred the battle royale of Pac-Man 99 over Tetris 99. That's just a personal preference.
It was more unique.
Yeah.
I don't play the Tetris 99 battle royale mode.
Yeah. So. All right, so let's find some happiness. Let's go on adventures. Advanced adventures.
Let's play some advanced adventures that we've already experienced on the other Nintendo Switch Onlines. Don't get me wrong, I love Super Mario Brothers 2.
Oh yeah. The people who say it's not canon just don't. It does not really matter what's canon and what isn't.
It really doesn't. Mario's not a canon series.
No, it's like
Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi's the RPG series. Those are different. Those are different.
Yeah, those are actually trying to have a story, but so many of these other various Super Mario games are just for the adventure. That's all they're for, and there were some obviously there's a lot of people who don't really care, but there were a small portion of people who are fans of the Yoshi Island games that were not happy that the movie didn't go with Mario and Luigi being born on Yoshi Island, which is is your life really ruined if that's not canon, or that aspect of Yoshi Island is not important anymore? Really? It's not going to ruin the game. If you love Yoshi Island games, if you love seeing baby Mario and Luigi being carried around by Yoshi, by all means enjoy them. But those games did not. There is no big epic Mario lore that has very important parts to it.
It's just Mario. It's just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, sheesh, these don't even make sense. Super Mario Advance, then Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario World. and then Super Mario Advance 3 Yoshi's Island, and then Super Mario Advance 4 Super Mario Brothers 3 e-reader edition. So, yeah.
When are we getting our Mario is Missing? Our Hotel Mario.
Hotel Mario.
Real OGs know that.
So, we've got another Mortal Kombat 2 cast member pretty much.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much.
Confirmed.
Yeah, as I said, we might have probably better organized this, but I did end up adding this to it because there's so many Mortal Kombat news and rumors that might as well add another name to this. Where, the new upcoming Mortal Kombat movie. Even though I did talk a little trash about the previous movie, 2021 movie. I'm hopeful that the team behind this movie can learn from the mistakes of that movie and be able to deliver something really good. I'm open-minded to Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, and as for the casting right here of Tati Gabrielle for Jade, seems really cool to me. Jade has. As I said, Mortal Kombat has a habit of they have their different multicolored ninjas, where it's the same kind of outfit for these characters but just different colors. They try the same thing with the basic female look characters, where you'd have Katana blue, Melina purple, and Jade was green. And I feel like, unfortunately for Jade, her backstory or her stories in these Mortal Kombat games is kind of loosey-goosey in terms of they never quite figure out what all to do with Jade, because they not only that they keep making new characters, but also again, they keep devaluing they devalue even characters from the original 3 games and make them less and less important to the later stuff. So Jade, for the most part, from what I remember of Jade, she's supposed to be one of Princess Katana's best friends, or one of the few people in Outworld that is actually loyal to Katana and has been her bodyguard, and has sometimes been an assassin that is trying to eliminate anyone. Jade is supposed to be very close to Katana. So this pretty much, I think we're probably gonna hear the news of Katana, that pretty much confirming Katana is gonna be also in this next movie, and we'll probably hear the casting for that character soon. Interestingly, and by all means, Jade's race and ethnicity in the Mortal Kombat games also is loosey-goosey, much like her motivation. I won't say like her motivations, but I think the original in Ultimate Mortal Kombat, she was of darker skin, but there have been plenty of times where they've had Jade be light-skinned Asian, I believe. So by all means, them having an actress like Tati Gabrielle, I certainly no problem here on my end, but the games keep changing, but the ethnicity Jade is also doesn't seem to really. Thankfully, I don't hear that many people complain about it. Whereas most of these kind of things, you do hear a lot of complaints over. Unfortunately, the 2011 movie, when they cast a black actress to play Melina, there were some uproars. Thankfully, not a whole lot, but there were some people complaining. So, as I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to hear about Katana's casting pretty soon. But just again, I wanted to add this just so we didn't wait a whole other week to add something here that most people have already talked about anyway. So, overall, I'm okay with this. I'm not gonna have a strong opinion until I see a trailer or I hear news that either excites me about this movie or worries me.
Excites you.
Yeah, negative excites me.
Negative excites you.
Yeah, okay. All right. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
All right. Well, that is gonna do it for this episode, my dudes.
Yes.
What did I do?
That's it. I think a fairly decent amount of news and stories out here.
Yeah, we're about at the 45-minute mark, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's it.
Power off.
Sometimes we'll have episodes like last week where we get the whole gang here, 3 of us, to discuss, our...
3 of us.
Yeah.
Just 3 of us.
There's him and you and me. All right. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, hearing our thoughts about these kind of things. Even though we're not the biggest experts on some of these franchises, I at least know in Mortal Kombat,
which is good because I don't at all.
Yeah.
The fighting games are Jordan's. I know Zelda lore.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, until next time.
And we're super awkward too. So
that's part of our charm. We have 57 subscribers as of this recording.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And I think the last episode did very well. So
we got a lot of views on that. I think it's just because Silk Song was in the title.
Or I like to hope that like people want to hear us actually just talk passionately about the games we love. And
well, it was a jump from an average of like 30 views to 130 views.
All right. Okay. Let's add another 100, guys. Come on. Let's do this.
Let's do it. So until next time.
All right. Okay.
Stay cool.
Flawless victory.